Howdy! Sup, chooms? What's up? Feeling it today. Feeling it today. I'm gonna get into this drawing. We're gonna have ourselves a good time. Hope everyone's been doing good. Hope everybody had a good week. I had a pretty good week. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not chronically tired as I usually am. Don't ever get a job on the night shift. It sucks. Don't do it. Yo, CL, what's up, man? But we are going to jump into it right now. We're gonna get the tunes back up and we're gonna get back to animating this. See, I'm running through the test screenings right now. Right now we got both the chest and the hips on 5s, and we're gonna start the end. Checking it out on the 3s. I probably could pull some cells out and do my onion skinning a little bit better, but I don't want to. Actually, wait. I have onion skin settings. Where are we? I know we got onion skin settings. Hell yeah. There we go. Look at that. Working overnight is the closest humanity has yet come to figuring out time dilation. One night shift lasts 3 to 5 business days. It's also like the closest you'll ever come to actually losing time without being abducted by aliens. Like, it's just, where'd the time go? Where did my day go? Because you wake up and you go to work while you're still in zombie mode, and by the time you wake up fully, it's time to go home. And then when you get home, you're just like, what did I do for 8 hours? Work, sleep. Hell yeah. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, God, fuck, night shift. That's also what it was like when I was working 2 jobs. I worked at a fast food place, and then I worked at a gas station, and it was all I did for about 2 weeks or a month. I forget how long I was doing that, but that was fucking garbage, and I hated it. You know, I knew a guy who did like two jobs. He worked 2 jobs for like 10 fucking years. The absolute madman. I gotta up my onion skin settings again. Damn it. I forgot. Maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe what I would rather do is Animation is a long process of drawing something, looking at it, realizing you hate it, and then drawing it again. That said, I do recommend it for anyone who is looking to improve their line confidence or looking to increase their speed with their drawing. Because by God, you will figure out a system. Oh, that reminds me, Anna. After the stream, I need to ask you something. I'll hit you up in DMs, but just in case I forget, just poke at me after the stream. Bet. All right. Cool. Dumb question, but do you prefer blunt Cyberpunk Corporation names or more creative ones? Or does it vary for the biz? It definitely varies for the biz. I mean, think real world, right? Like, we got the big megacorps in the real world, like Johnson & Johnson is just named after the founders. Dodge, Ford, Motor Company, blah, 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 just named for the founders. But then we also have like Walmart, which is named for the founder, but it's also like kind of a contraction because, you know, it's Bud Walton. He just dropped the last half of his last name and then added Mart to it. Yeah, it's all about the target market, baby. And then also you can just have like Microsoft sort of name designed to demonstrate what sort of products they sell. Like they sell like kind of small software machines, Microsoft. And then also you can have like a company like Sony where they just made it up. Like there's no one named Sony who was involved in the founding of the company Sony, and the name Sony didn't exist until then. They just made it the fuck up. Do you want customers who look for simple, blunt names, or do you want customers who look for weird stuff? Exactly. Like Apple. The name Apple doesn't really have anything to do with computers, and obviously it's not anyone's name. They were just sort of inspired by Alan Turing. It was an in-joke to people who were in on the like cutting edge of computers at the time, and also it reflects their corporate minimalism style. And then there's something like amalgamated sugar. Yes. So I'd say think about what kind of corporation it's going to be, what kind of megacorp you're making, and then what kind of corporate culture are they going to have, and what are they going to espouse. And this is just going to be something that I personally like to do, but I would ask myself, like, what is this company about? What do they like to do? and then I would just wait 3 days, like go for a walk, just kind of live my life, just kind of let the question roll around in the back of my head, and let inspiration strike. We actually have a plant of theirs not too far from my place, like 20 minutes, and that crop smells like bad peanut butter. Oh no. I don't know too much about sugar processing. Is it like really stinky? I know paper mills. We have a lot of paper mills around in the state, and if you are driving pretty much anywhere, you'll run across a paper mill, and it stinks to high heaven. Kinda, yeah. They rendered stuff like sugar beets and whatever the process is. It's bad to drive by, lol. Yeah. I occasionally threaten my wife with starting up making garum in the backyard. Garum is a kind of ancient Roman fish sauce, which, according to all reports, was just heinous. Like, you had to ferment it, and the smell of the fermentation was so bad that by law, you were not allowed to make it within city limits in ancient Rome. You had to go out of town to make it. I love budget arms to be blunt. It's blunt to the point and tells you what it is. Yeah. Now in Cyberpunk, isn't Dai Lung the arms company that everyone knows is like shit? Kara would get you chased out of your hood. Yeah, it would. we joke if I did that. Neighbors would call the cops on me thinking I had a dead body in my backyard. Yeah, garum was some shit. Apparently really tasty though. Romans loved it. Unfortunately, I do have neighbors, and they are actually really nice, so I don't want to piss them off too much. Oops. There we go. And yes, Dai Lung is defunct, which probably tells you how shit their guns are. I really like the idea of just buying a gun from a vending machine, and it's fucking garbage, and we all know it's garbage. But hey, it was like 5 pennies. It's 5 pennies, and I need a gun now. Disregard vending machine gun, get yourself an arm-mounted rocket launcher and call it a day. No! Vending machine gun funny. That's why. The Mantis Blades aren't bad either if you enjoy the zoom zoom style of gameplay. Okay, we've got it on the 3. Also in red, there's a company called Gunmart, and they sell a rocket launcher that's a nasty habit of exploding when you shoot it. Game mechanics, it's misfire roll. Okay, yeah. Alright, let's hit this on 2s now. Okay. Can drop down my onion skin by 1. Oops. Cool. That way I don't get all confuzzled. This part of animating usually goes easier if you kind of unfocus your eyes. In a project I'm cooking, I'm making an interplanetary shipping conglomerate called Ulysses and Son Logistics. Ulysses and Son Interplanetary Shipping Conglomerate. You're a fan of that old, 80s, early 90s cartoon, Ulysses, aren't you? Any package, any location in just 10 years. I mean, when we're talking interplanetary, that's a pretty good deal. Never heard of it. What's it about? Oh man, I'm gonna have to link it in the chat. I'm sorry, it was 81 was when it came out. Ulysses 31. I am really thirsty. I'm pounding through this sweet tea tonight. No, that'll work. That'll work. That'll work. I was just making an Odyssey reference, as in lore, they were one of the first successful shipping companies to utilize FTL technology without any planet-breaking incidents. Oops. Planet-breaking incidents. There's still a lot of wriggle. Oh, wow. I may have to live with it. I'm not entirely sure how to fix it without completely redoing it. Let's see, we did 2s. Already did 8s. Sixes. Flying a cargo freighter into a colony that's unified is generally not in the planet or the company's PR. That is true. That is true. Sketch on 10s, none, 2s, none, no 2s, 3s, 4s, 6, 7s. Yeah, let's hit 6s. That would be what the professionals call a great big oopsie indeed. Yes! However, great kamikaze weapon. I feel like if you can do that with a freighter on accident, doing it on purpose with a really big rock would be more economical than doing it on purpose with a ship. Well, I mean, you could do like they do in the Traveler system, where they just take a hollowed out asteroid and convert that into a ship. Save cost on building an entire ship, and you can still just basically crew it. Big old crew of die-hard fanatics. They don't even need a lot of training, or you don't need a lot of them, because, you know, all they're doing is putting into the light speed and shooting it at a planet. Long story short, early 90s asteroids from outside the solar system crashed onto Earth. After recovering from the impact, many scientists found that said materials can make FTL possible. Hey, there you go. That's just an orc rock from 40k. Yeah. The orcs is the cleverest when it comes to the crumping. Them Umis always want to do an orbital bombardment and whatnot. Red ones go faster, verily. Yeah. I only dabble in 40k, but orcs are easily one of the best parts of the setting. The orcs are very much the introductory, the gateway drug to 40k. Fuck this, I'm tracing this shit. It's like the same fucking hip. Just out of place. Hoop. They are just having a good time. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. They're just glad to be here. Just glad to be here and just looking good for a good fight. All right. Let's hit up the 9s. Step down my onion skin settings again. It would be insane if we finished this kind of rough out tonight. I'm not holding my breath, but that would be impressive. Do you count Asari as nightmare fuel? They're not nightmare fuel exactly, but they easily could be. You know what I'm saying? Yes, but also monster fuel. Yeah, you gotta be careful around Anna. If it has tentacles, she's locked on. She is extremely locked in, as the kids might say. You know the theory that they just manipulate people into who see them into being close to what they are? I mean, yeah. They obviously have some sort of physiological basis in reality. What am I saying? Asari look like what they look like, but they either consciously or subconsciously might be psionically emphasizing certain points that other races will find attractive. Yeah, it's from the second game. Yeah, it's not an illusion per se, in that it's not a mirage. Instead, they're sort of calling attention to some traits and de-emphasizing others. At least that's kind of my read on it. Hot take. Part of the reason the banshees strike everyone as so scary is the same thing normals are doing. They just change the setting from attractive to terrifying. That's a good take. I like that. Very similar to how mega appearance works in the aberrant system. See, we've done all the 9s. 2s, 3s, 4s, 6s. We just need 7s and then the 1s. Let's see how it animates first. You know, I've done worse. I've done worse. Ooh, no, messed that up. It's okay, it's okay. Salvageable. Everything is salvageable. There are no mistakes. Only happy accidents. Is it thundering outside? What's the weather like? I'll be back in just a second. I'm gonna check out a window. Hard to tell. What do you know about Fern and Freeran? Um, I watched about half the first season. I really enjoyed it. Just never got around to watching the second half. I have a problem of finishing media. Usually because, you know, I'll get to a good stopping point and be like, I'll finish this tomorrow, and then tomorrow never happens. But no, I watched it and I really did enjoy it. I got to right before she had to go into the university to like re-up her certification or whatever it was. I think we've cycled through this playlist before. I'm gonna bounce out. Oh no, don't. Yeah, okay, that first video was a compilation video. Okay. Here we go. Who's your fave? Man, ooh. Oh man, that's a good question. I like Freerun's Magicaltism. I think I'm gonna have to go with her. Fern's pretty good though. Wait, where are we popping out at? Oh no! Did I forget? I forgot the 4s! Damn. Okay. Alright, that's okay. It's okay, we can live. I'm just disappointed at myself. Thought we were almost done. Now you see, if I had been paying attention, these two frames, their hip structure would be back slightly, but I wasn't. So, I'm just gonna go with some. It might look a little jank. I think it'll still be okay. It's a hell of a mass shift. What was I doing over there? Torn between the two, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. They're both pretty good. Oh, now I have a question for you, CL. Are you, or have you already seen 28 years later? Haven't yet. Okay. That's okay. Neither have I. Is it any good? I haven't seen it yet. I don't know. But you are one other person that I had good reason to suspect would be into it. So I wanted to ask. Turn off that onion skin. My replay of the stream keeps lagging back. Okay. I wish it was the 23rd. Arbites DLC for Darktide comes out, then be 40k Judge Dredd. Yeah. Yeah, can't blame me on that one. Yeah, the Arbites DLC will be the Judge Dredd video game that fans have been hoping for. Gonna finally make a good Judge Dredd movie. Or video game, I mean. I'll admit, I was fully on with the hate for the Stallone movie back in the day. Looking back, could have been worse. Could have been a lot worse. Feel like it's still not, you know, a good Judge Dredd movie, but it's pretty good. Post-apocalypse cop movie, I guess. Pretty good. Pretty good for that. They just shouldn't have called it Judge Dredd. It is not a high bar to clear, yeah. I feel like a lot of remakes or adaptations would have been better received had they not tried to ride the coattails of another property. You know what I mean? Like the 2000s Godzilla movie where it's stomping around New York. You know, it's all right for a kaiju movie, but it's not Godzilla. You know, if they just called it like Giant Lizard Stomps New York, I think there would have been less complaining about it. Because when you go in with a pre-established title as part of a pre-established franchise, people have pre-established expectations. Not sure if I ranted about this yet, but Injustice is profoundly stupid. I know the video game. Yeah, I know nothing about that. I'm tired of evil Superman, you know? I'm tired of evil Superman. Like, you know, we all like Homelander, we all like Omni-Man, but I'm just burnt out on evil Superman. Concept of evil Superman after Lois Lane dies and he takes over the world. This is the same timeline where Where her murders Billy Batson? You mean he? Evil for Superman is fun once in a while, but it's not the main dish, you know? Exactly. Exactly. It's kind of how I feel about like Watchmen and sort of quote unquote realistic superheroes. Like, it's good for every once in a while, but you wouldn't want it to be all you consume in that genre. Because otherwise, what's the fucking point? Like, reams of digital ink have been spilt about how superheroes are a power fantasy. And of course they fucking are, man. Like, that's the point of the damn thing. Just enjoy it. You don't gotta deconstruct everything. Fuck. Fun things are fun, you know? My bad, but yes, he kills Shazam. He knows that Shazam is a little child. Yeah, I'm a firm believer that superheroes are the most fun when you remember their pulp adventures. Yes, exactly. Fun things are fun. It's not supposed to be taken seriously. You can have a very interesting philosophical discussion about the nature of power and responsibility, and what does it mean to be human when you are no longer tied down by these fleshy frailties? Or you could just have a fun time and just watch Spandex Punch Man beat aliens in the face. Yet again, Batman the Animated Series remains the gold standard. I do like the Shadow's approach to the joke, though. You mean the Shadow's approach to the Joker? Just kill him? Because the Shadow didn't give a fuck. It's one of the things I like about the Shadow. What the fuck is with my autocorrect? I don't know, man. Are you phone posting over there? Yes, the Shadow straight up tried to ice the Joker when he met the clown. I mean, good? Like, I get why Batman has his no-kill rule, but there's like literally no other reason for any of the other superheroes in the DC universe to put up with that nonsense. Like, I'm sure the Justice League wouldn't do it because they know that Batman would find them out like instantly. But why doesn't Plastic Man just zip over to Arkham someday and wriggle his fingertip in through the Joker's ear hole and just scramble his brains? Okay, clue me in here. Is this the same The Shadow as who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? Yes. The Shadow knows. I cannot do that cackle at all. I can't do the cackle, but I bet you there's a sound clip. Bet you there's a sound clip somewhere online. Alright, we're going to take a pause from the tunes here. Let's sit through 30 seconds of ads. I love that shit. Batman was just straight up plagiarism of the Shadow. I mean, yeah, like they've basically admitted that. He's the Shadow crossed with Zorro. But yeah, he got his basic whole shtick, including the cape whirl from the Shadow, and he got the lariat swinging from Zorro. I think they might also have thrown a little Tarzan in there. But yeah. Which, I mean, if you're going to base your pulp detective on something, Zorro crossed with the Shadow is a pretty good place to start. And he just killed people because the Shadow... Also, he just killed people because the Shadow did it. Yeah, early Batman. Early Batman. I'm convinced the no-kill thing actually comes from very early grumblings that led to the Comics Code Authority. Which, fuck me, the American comic book industry has never gotten over the Comics Code Authority. They've been defunct since like the 80s, but we've never gotten over it. Why do you think manga is eating our fucking lunch? Imagine a Shadow video game. I mean, I don't have to. That's just Batman Arkham Asylum. I only know the Orson Welles version, but I feel like that works. Yeah. Hear me out. The game you want is Vampire. That's good too. That's good too. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have the Shadow branding, and it probably won't, because, I don't know, the Shadow comics are owned by DC, but I think the property in and of itself is currently public domain, which means they actually wouldn't profit a lot if they made a Shadow video game. World of Darkness Gaslight era with the serial numbers filed off. Hell yeah. But, because they wouldn't profit a lot off a Shadow video game, they probably wouldn't make it. Which means it's up to us. Entire gameplay loop is following up on clues gained from regularly investigating every tiny little weird event in your neighborhood. Yeah, is that Fugitive or Manhunt? Condemned, I think. Condemned, I think is the name of it. There was another game in the early 2000s that was very, very based on like looking at every tiny little thing and teasing out clues, and that's how you advance the plot. Not quite a hidden item kind of a game or hidden object game like you'd have nowadays, because there was some action in it, but a lot of that general idea. Oh shit. I popped the nib out of my stylus. Come on. Back in there. Back where you belong. Okay. We look good. Look good. What they really need to do is they need, like, you need something like Arkham Asylum or Arkham City, where it's kind of open world, but you're still pursuing leads, but the pursuing of the leads is entirely based around just walking around the city and finding small little clues and following up on those. But they have an interrogation system like in LA Noire, but it actually fucking works and isn't jankety as all fuck. That would be an interesting game. I'd also really like kind of a John Carter of Mars or a Flash Gordon video game. But again, they probably aren't going to be making that anytime soon. They did it with Mordor. Did Shadows of Mordor have an interrogation system? I can't remember. Or are you talking more of like a John Carter style game? Warner Brothers will make a patent on some system and screw anyone over the Nemesis system. Ah, fuck. Abolish copyright. Kind of want to play Alan Wake 2. Did a little Alan Wake 1. I liked 1. Hated the flying paint cans, though. Yeah, I remember I was playing a little of it. Friend of mine had a copy, and I was playing his. And, like, you remember how his girlfriend had nyctophobia? Just absolutely afraid of the dark. And I made some joke about, like, wow, that must be real convenient. You know, you're arguing with your girlfriend, you just go outside. And then Alan fucking does it. Like, he and his girlfriend are fighting, he just leaves. Just leaves out into the dark. It's like, damn, it's fucked up, bro. Amazing how many horror scenarios happen after a marital argument. Yeah, I don't know, like... It's just kind of lazy, like, and I'm not necessarily condemning that. It's just, it's a real easy and convenient way to introduce some character to your characters, and then increase the stakes, and then, you know, you get to add that little bit of regret and grief to, oh no, my girlfriend's missing. I wish I hadn't called her a bitch before the monster stole her away. The same way everyone gets haunted after, like, you know, a loved one dies. Does James Sunderland killing his wife count as an argument? I mean, if we want to stretch the definition of argument, yeah. Does a really good job of explaining why he is the neurotic, fucked up mess he is, though. I'm out of tea. Damn. I gotta stretch. I gotta stop shrimp posing over my tablet. So many horror games boil down to I miss my wife if you think about it. That's true. That's true. A lot of them do. I mean, even going all the way back to like Splatterhouse. Oh, I sure miss my girlfriend. Better go rescue her from the ghoulies. I mean, even The Last of Us. I mean, it's like, Last of Us is just, boy, I miss my daughter. I think a lot of that brand of very formulaic writing could, without actually changing the formula, benefit immensely from just insisting that the dead wife actually have a presence in the narrative. Like, make me, the player, miss the wife too, and I will play that formulaic nonsense all day long and twice on Sundays. Yeah, like, it's very easy to critique the idea of using a formula for your writing, but I mean, sometimes the formula exists for a reason. And I don't think it's wrong to have a recipe pre-made, but like you say, maybe make it count. So it's one of the reasons why I didn't really like Babadook, the movie The Babadook, is because like it's all about this woman's grief over her dead husband, and wanting to try and care for her child while, you know, processing this grief. But the husband's just flat. Like, he doesn't do anything. Now, if you want to do something like that, you want to take a look at Jodie Foster's The Brave One, because in that one her dead husband has like an actual presence. Husband, boyfriend, I forget whether they were actually married in The Brave One, but you get what I'm saying. But if it's just shorthand for this character will angst, then just tell me they're a sad boy and put that budget toward making the game more fun. Yeah. Like, if the grief doesn't mean anything, then why is it there? Signals is, I think Signalis is pretty good at that. Like, I am wanting to know about this white-haired girl and whatever this promise is. Yeah, like, you don't have to reveal everything immediately. In fact, I would say that it's better if you don't. Reveal their relationship in, like, flashbacks or conversations with other characters as you go along. That's kind of like writing 101, is to reveal the character as the story goes on. And if grief over a character's death is baked into the plotline, then you need to treat that dead character as if they were still alive and reveal them through the story. I think off the top of my head, I liked Annihilation for this. If you're going to make horror from Dead Spouse, go all in on making it horrifying. That's a good one. I thought Annihilation was a little up its own ass, but I did think that the relationship they showed between the main character and her husband was really good as they went along. Bear Mimic was just bananas. True. I did like the Bear Mimic. Who did Annihilation? What the studio was that with? Fallout 4 really fumbled that, like, okay, my wife is dead. And? Yeah. Skydance, DNA Films, Paramount, Netflix, blah, 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 blah. What else has Skydance done? Flyboys, True Grit, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Guilt Trip, Jack Reacher, Star Trek Into Darkness, World War Z. I don't really like any of these movies. Ooh. Okay. Alright, Skydance. Not really making my favorite movies there. Okay. God, when one of the #1 mods for the game is rework all dialogue to remove the dead spouse, missing child angle, you have capital F fumbled. Wow. Brutal. Brutal. Off the topic of dead spouses, I think the Outlast trials actually nailed the horror aspect, like a mix of the banality of evil and Jesus Christ, what the fuck is this company doing to these people? Yeah, yeah. I don't know too much about Outlast trials, but I hear good things. Something you said reminded me. It's not a dead wife horror movie, but it's kind of like, you know, gotta go rescue your wife horror movie. Bone Tomahawk. Really good. I should stop giving out movie recommendations because Anna plays in my games and I don't want her knowing where I steal all my ideas from. Have no fear, my dude. I have a brain like a leaky sieve. It will still absolutely be a surprise if when it comes up, lol. Yeah. I got a buddy, Caleb, who also runs a game, and I feel so bad for him sometimes because he will very clearly be making a reference to something that is genuinely obscure. But I will also have read it or watched it or played it. So I'll just immediately be like, oh, I know what you're referencing. It's just like, fuck. I know where you got this idea from. I still think that my favorite reference I did in a game was the Crazy Marine from Halo. Again, not too familiar with Halo. I didn't have an Xbox growing up. We were a very anti-Microsoft house. Flood shows up, one Marine from a squad survived, and rants stuff like, I did them a favor. That's right, I helped them. Ooh boy. A man's got it bad. Whew. May want to give him some mandatory shore leave. Ooh. Little pop down. Yeah. Like jerks all the fucking way down to his fucking pelvis. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, okay. Go back to... Gotta go to bed. Sleepy time. Talk to you later. Yeah, man. You have a good night. Probably wasn't gonna go a whole lot further than this anyway. Just pop out some more cells. Call it good. Damn, that is still way the fuck down. Might. Maybe it just looks weird now. That's our straight limit. doesn't look too bad. Serviceable. Serviceable. Take off that roto. Give me my super rough again. There we go. That's saved. Alright, well, I think we're gonna go ahead and call that for the night. Thanks to everyone for coming out. And y'all have yourselves a good night and a good week. And take care.